While we're clearing the room, we're going to 5-1 that bill is out. We are going to call up Senator Vidak, who has been, Senator Cannella. It's a gray here, and we will proceed. But while we're clearing the room, I'd like to go ahead and ask for motions on the bills. We have heard a number of bills. So while we're clearing the room, can we have a motion on file item 1, Senator Wolk's bill? That bill, motion is due pass as amended to Senate appropriations. Is there a motion? Moved by Senator Monning. Please call the roll. File item 1 by Senator Wolk, due pass as amended, SB 19 to Senate appropriations. Please call the roll.
The motion is due pass as amended to Senate Appropriations Committee. Jackson?
Aye.
Jackson, aye. Morlock? Anderson? Anderson, aye. Hertzberg? Hertzberg, aye. Leno? Leno, aye. Monning? Monning, aye. Wachowski? Aye. Wachowski, aye.
Aye 6-0. That bill is out. You don't have to. All right. File item 2 is SB 26 by Senator Hernandez. Is there a motion? Senator Leno moves. Please. As amended to appropriations, Senate appropriations, please call the roll.
Jackson?
Aye.
Jackson, aye. Morlock? Anderson? Aye. Anderson, aye. Hertzberg? Aye. Hertzberg, aye. Leno? Leno, aye. Monning? Monning, aye. Wachowski? Aye. Wachowski, aye.
6-0, that bill is out. File item 3, SB 119 by Senator Hill with amendments, and that is due pass as amended to Senate approbes. Motion by Senator Leno. Please call the roll.
Jackson?
Aye.
Jackson, aye. Morlock? Anderson? Anderson, no. Hertzberg? Hertzberg, aye. Leno? Leno, aye. Monning? Monning, aye. Wachowski? Wachowski, aye.
5-1, that bill is out. Next is SB 145, file item 4 by Senator Pan. That is due pass as amended to appropriations. Senator Leno moves. Please call the roll.
Jackson?
Aye.
Jackson, aye. Morlock? Anderson? No. Anderson, no. Hertzberg? Aye. Hertzberg, aye. Leno? Leno, aye. Monning? Monning, aye. Wachowski?
All right. That's 4-1, and that bill is out. Okay. All right. File item 6 by Senator Gaines. That is due pass to Senate appropriations. Vehicle information systems. Moved by Senator Anderson. Please call the roll.
Jackson?
Aye.
Jackson, aye. Morlock? Anderson? Aye. Anderson, aye. Hertzberg? Hertzberg, aye. Leno? Leno, aye. Monning? Monning, aye. Wachowski? Wachowski, aye.
6-0, that bill is out. File item 7, SB 226 by Senator Pavley. That bill is due pass as amended to Senate appropriations. Moved by Senator Leno. Please call the roll.
Jackson?
Aye.
Jackson, aye. Morlock? Anderson? No. Anderson, no. Hertzberg? Hertzberg, aye. Leno? Leno, aye. Monning? Monning, aye. Wachowski? Wachowski, aye.
5-1, that bill is out. Next, file item 8 by Senator Block, SB 235. That bill is due pass as amended to appropriations. Moved by Senator Leno. Please call the roll.
Jackson?
Aye.
Jackson, aye. Morlock? Anderson? Anderson, aye. Hertzberg? Hertzberg, aye. Leno? Leno, aye. Monning? Monning, aye. Wachowski? Wachowski, aye.
6-0, that bill is out. Next, file item 9, SB 238 by Senator Mitchell on foster care. Moved by Senator Leno. Please call the roll.
The motion is due pass the Senate Appropriations Committee. Jackson?
Aye.
Jackson, aye. Morlock? Anderson? Anderson, aye. Hertzberg? Hertzberg, aye. Leno? Leno, aye. Monning? Monning, aye. Wachowski? Wachowski, aye.
6-0, that bill is out. Next, file item 14, SB 285 by Senator Block. That bill is due pass as amended to Senate appropriations. Please call the roll. Moved by Senator Leno. Please call the roll.
Jackson?
Aye.
Jackson, aye. Morlock? Anderson? Anderson, aye. Hertzberg? Hertzberg, aye. Leno? Leno, aye. Monning? Monning, I. Wachowski. Wachowski, aye.
6-0, that bill is out. File item 19 by Senator De Leon, SB 588. The motion is due pass to Senate Appropriations. Move.
No.
I'm sorry. Due pass to Senate Labor and Industrial Relations with amendments to be taken in Labor and Industrial Relations. Moved by Senator Leno. Please call the roll.
Jackson.
Aye.
Jackson, I. Morlock. Anderson.
No.
Anderson, no. Hertzberg. Leno. Leno, I. Monning. Monning, I. Wachowski. Wachowski, aye.
All right, that bill has 4 to 1. That bill is out. File item 20, SB 589 by Senator Block. The motion is due pass to Senate Appropriations, so moved by Senator Leno. Please call the roll.
Jackson.
Aye.
Jackson, I. Morlock. Anderson. Anderson, no. Hertzberg. Hertzberg, I. Leno. Leno, I. Monning. Monning, I. Wachowski. Wachowski, aye.
5 to 1, that bill is out. Next is SB 647 by Senator Morell. Real estate investments. The motion is due pass to Senate Appropriations, moved by Senator Anderson. Please call the roll.
Jackson.
Aye.
Jackson, I. Morlock. Anderson. Anderson, I. Hertzberg. Hertzberg, I. Leno. Leno, I. Monning. Monning, I. Wachowski. Wachowski, aye.
6-0, that bill is out. And I think the only other calendar is the consent calendar. I'm sorry, 681 by Senator Hill, file item 24, excuse me. And due pass as amended.
Madam Chair, if you could, remind us of the amendment.
The amendment, he took the amendments which would, all the amendments in the analysis, which preserve the private right of action that he otherwise would have taken out of the bill.
Thank you very much.
Yes. So motion by Senator Leno, file item 24, that is due pass as amended to Senate Appropes. Please call the roll.
Jackson.
Aye.
Jackson, I. Morlock. Anderson.
No.
Anderson, no. Hertzberg. Hertzberg, I. Leno. Leno, I. Monning. Monning, I. Wachowski. Wachowski, aye.
5 to 1, that bill is out. And then we have the consent calendar. Let's go ahead and call that now, and that will bring us up to date. Move the consent calendar. Senator Ross, 696. It's file item 26. It is due. Just consent? All right. Please call the roll.
Jackson.
Aye.
Jackson, I. Morlock. Anderson.
I apologize. Aye.
Anderson, I. Hertzberg. Hertzberg, I. Leno. Leno, I. Monning. Monning, I. Wachowski. Wachowski, aye.
6-0, that bill is out. Senator Cannella, thank you for your patience. I'm sure you found that to be a fascinating discussion, and we appreciate your patience. It's file item 13, SB 284. Please proceed.
This bill is a lot less controversial. So,
I hope so.
in its current form, SB 284 extends the sunset date by 5 years, established in 2010 by then Senator Alex Padilla, allowing engineers and land surveyors to continue to form limited liability partnerships. Extending the same flexibility to form LLPs as architects will allow engineers and land surveyors to continue to contribute to business and job growth in our state. I will accept the committee amendments that would decrease the sunset date from 5 years to 3 years as to align with the date of the architects. This will allow for the insurance claims data to be collected without disrupting operating LLPs when the sunset review comes up again. With that, I have someone from ACEC who's not going to speak. They're the sponsor, but they're here to answer any questions, and I ask for an aye vote.
Thank you. A smart man, indeed. Anyone else here in support of the measure? Any opposition? Any questions? Motion by Senator Hertzberg. Senator Cannella is asking for an aye vote. The motion is due pass as amended to Senate Appropriations. Please call the roll.
Jackson.
Aye.
Jackson, I. Morlock. Anderson. Anderson, I. Hertzberg. Hertzberg, I. Leno. Leno, I. Monning. Monning, I. Wachowski.
Thank you.
All right, 5-0, that bill is out. And we'll hold the roll open.
On call.
We'll put, yes, on call. Hopefully Senator Rakowski's coming back. Next, we have any other, yes, Senator Hernandez, Mendoza, excuse me. Senator Mendoza, and appreciate your patience as well, Senator. This is file item 11. Good afternoon, almost good, it is good evening, sir. Good evening.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm here to present SB 270. I would like to thank your staff for their proposed clarifying amendments. I accept the amendments on page 10 of the analysis. Under current law, Court Reporters Board has limited authority to impose penalties on any court reporter or court reporting corporation that is rendering services without a court reporting license. For unlicensed entities, however, the CRB has had challenges when attempting to impose fines for ethical or legal violations. This has jeopardized the integrity of the court reporting profession and creates a disadvantage for licensed businesses that provide court reporting services and adhere to the ethical and legal guidelines set by the Court Reporting Board. SB 270 strengthens the authority of the CRB to regulate or prevent unlicensed individuals and corporations from unlawfully rendering court reporting services in California. Specifically, SB 270 defines the manner in which the CRB can issue fines or injunctions for acts in violation of the CRB's professional and ethical rules for certified shorthand reporters. We do have Ignacio Hernandez, who will speak on behalf of the Court Reporters Association.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Ignacio Hernandez on behalf of the California Court Reporters Association. We are the sponsors of the bill. As the author indicated, this bill is intended to strengthen the ability of the California Court Reporter Board to crack down on those entities that are rendering court reporter services in California without complying with California law. It simply provides additional tools, injunctive relief, the ability to have a court negate a transcript that is produced by someone who is not licensed in California, as well as the ability to impose fines for those entities that have been violating certain regulatory requirements, especially ethical rules in California. The idea is to ensure objectivity in California and simply to improve our regulatory authority. Ask for your aye vote.
Thank you very much. Any other witnesses in support? Any witnesses in opposition? Any questions of the members? Motion by Senator Monning. Senator Mendoza, if you'd like to close.
Seeing no questions, I respectfully ask for your aye vote, Madam Chair.
Sounds like a good close to me. All right, the motion is to pass as amended to Senate Appropriations. Please call the roll.
Jackson?
Aye.
Jackson, I. Morlock. Anderson?
No.
Anderson, no. Hertzberg? Hertzberg, I. Leno? Leno, I. Monning? Monning, I. Wachowski.
4-1, we'll leave that on call. Thank you, Senator Mendoza, and thank you for taking the amendments as well. All right, do we have another bill? We do file item 23, SB 648 by Senator Mendoza. Please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We have I'm presenting SB 648. I would like to begin by accepting the amendments outlined on page 8 of the analysis and in the mock-up before you, and I would like to thank the committee staff for their diligent work on this legislation. These amendments help to address concerns. However, I will continue to work with the opposition to further address the outstanding issues as the bill moves forward. SB 648 is a senior protection bill that closes a significant gap in the licensing requirement for placement referral agencies and ensures that seniors and their families are making the most informed decisions about their placement in a long-term care facility. Placement referral agencies provide a great service to our aging population as they provide seniors and their families with resources and assistance in finding suitable long-term care or an aging facility. For seniors, especially those following a hospital stay or sudden decline in independence, finding assisted living or care options can be daunting. Some seniors haven't even feel rushed to find a care facility, leaving them susceptible to pressure and misinformation. Because current licensing requirements do not include agencies that refer seniors to a residential care facility for the elderly, a vast majority of these agencies are operating in California without any oversight. In the greater Sacramento area alone, there are up to 100 placement referral agencies providing these type of services. This lack of oversight has allowed for ample opportunity for some unscrupulous placement referral agencies to misguide and harm the seniors and families that are using their services. The intention of this bill is not to eliminate a service that works for seniors and their families, whether that is online or in person. The intent is to ensure that no matter what service seniors or their family use, they are receiving the information that they need to make informed decisions and not be misled into a care facility that does not meet their needs. And we do have a few speakers in support.
Thank you very much. 2 minutes each, and then we give The same 2 minutes for two on the opposition, if there's any to be here. So go ahead.
Good afternoon. My name is Lisa Coleman. I'm the Executive Director with CALCOA, the California Long-Term Care Ombudsman Association. So I just want to share a brief story of a referral agency where the referral went bad. We have a woman who lived alone. She lived in Bakersfield. She fell. She had to go to the hospital. The hospital repaired her hip. As what happens in many rural areas, there's not a skilled nursing facility that was near her that had a bed. So they shipped her 45 miles away to another facility. It was a rough rehab for her. She had some setbacks at the end of her 20 days of Medicare eligibility. The nursing home contacted a local referral agency, and rather than sending her back to a rehab facility back where she was from, they sent her to an unlicensed board and care. And that's how we, the ombudsman, found her in an unrelated complaint. The ombudsman met this woman because we were drawn to her screams as she was being moved from her chair to her bed by a caregiver. The ombudsman questioned, how did this woman get to this facility? There's stairs to this facility. The operator explained that they literally carried her from the car to her bed. She was receiving no therapeutic care in this board and care. When the ombudsman spoke with her, the resident requested assistance, and we were able to get her transferred back to the rehab facility near her home. This woman is alone. Her children have died. She doesn't drive. Her closest relative or her closest friend is a neighbor who is 45 minutes away. She is completely dependent on the referral agency and the discharge planner for her care. The referral agent was contacted by the Ombudsman program and was admonished for their bad behavior, for the bad placement into an unlicensed facility. But this placement agent, he continues to do risky placements. He is well known by the local hospital and the skilled nursing facility as a person who can find a bed for you any day, anytime, in any situation. Without some sort of legislation, this referral agent is not likely to change his behavior. SB 648 would prohibit a referral agency from referring any person to a residential care facility for the elderly if that facility does not meet standards.
Thank you very much. Next.
Madam Chair, committee members, Ignacio Hernandez, again on behalf of the Consumer Federation of California. We are the sponsors of this measure. Just very briefly, this bill puts in place licensing requirements that both the supporters and even the opponents of the bill agree with. We also require certain consumer protections, such as disclosures to family members, that they know that who they are dealing with and whether or not referral agencies are getting have some sort of commission, or and also to protect from any conflicts of interest that these referral agencies may have. These are very difficult decisions, difficult times that families have to make decisions what to do with their family members, and so we just need to have these consumer protections in place. It is modeled after recently adopted law in the state of Washington, and we think it moves forward key consumer protections here in California. We've been working with the opposition as well, which you hear in just a second. We believe that we are closing the gap with their particular issues, and I ask for your aye vote.
Thank you very much. Witnesses, just name and affiliation, please.
Madam Chair and members, Don Gilbert for the Coalition for Responsible Senior Placement Agencies in support of the bill. It treats both internet-based and non-internet-based businesses the same.
Thank you.
Madam Chair and members, Roxanne Gould representing 6 Beds, Inc. It's a residential care facility for the elderly association that was formed last year, as well as a daughter of a mother who was gravely ill about 2 months ago, and I was faced with dealing with referral agencies. And we have suggestions for how the bill could be stronger and have greater consumer protections, but it is very much needed.
Well, sounds like an opportunity to get some additional ideas, but thank you so much for testifying. Anyone else in support?
Hello, my name is Claire Smith. I'm with the Older Women's League that is based here in Sacramento. We represent men and women from around the state, and we would like to voice our strong support of this bill. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any witnesses in opposition? If you come forward.
Madam Chair and members, Monica Miller on behalf of A Place for Mom. And we have an oppose unless amended position. We have met with the author a couple of times now. We also worked with your staff, which we greatly appreciate. We'll continue working with them and hope that we can get to an agreement. We do believe that the bill, it's going in the right direction, but there still needs to be a lot of work to ensure that consumer protections are actually met. So thank you.
Okay, you've got a minute. Is there anything in specific as far as consumer protections? Are we talking about privacy rights? Are we talking about prohibiting unauthorized sharing of information? What is your concern?
We actually have several concerns, quite frankly. Our company, A Place for Mom, is an internet-based model. We do check licenses twice a year for every, we actually do this nationwide. We check licenses for we call them communities, the communities where we place people. We check licenses twice a year. We also want to make sure that they have no serious infractions as well. If they do, we then obviously do not utilize those facilities. We actually have senior living advisors on the ground. We have about 60 people that work in the state of California that are very familiar with these particular communities, go and visit them on a regular basis, ensure that in fact they are what they say they are. We're not health inspectors. We depend on the Department of Social Services for that component. We just want to make sure the internet-based model can continue. When you call A Place for Mom, within about a minute or two, you will get a call back from our call center, and then they will place you with a local advisor, depending upon Monica Miller's calling needs to find a place for her mother in San Antonio, Texas. And they will get me on the phone with someone who is local and ensure that in fact we get the proper, our needs met. We give anywhere from 4 to 6 different facility names, community names, so that way the consumer can go and tour those and determine which one is best for their family needs. One thing we do want to make sure we can continue to do is if I'm calling A Place for Mom, if I'm emailing or going online for A Place for Mom, I want to make sure that my name, because I have said, yes, in fact, I am looking for a community, whether it's urgent or in a few months, I know that this is forthcoming. I want to be able to make sure that my information can be shared to ensure that those communities can then contact me so I can do my tours and can determine which is the best facility. I'll tell you, I know Roxanne Gould said she had gone through something like this with her mother. I went through this with my mother-in-law when she was being discharged in the hospital. It is incredibly stressful. I had never dealt with anything like that. It was, she's being discharged tomorrow, you need to find a place. And we used something very similar to A Place for Mom, and it was incredibly helpful. My husband and I then went and toured the facilities. We picked the best one for her based on her needs, but they need to understand what those needs are. And as you know, every day, 10,000 people turn 65 in this country. This is a huge, huge oncoming slot of individuals that are going to ultimately need these types of facilities. So again, we'll continue to work with the senator and his sponsor. Again, we had a great meeting yesterday, and we hope to continue to work with them. So thank you.
Thank you. I ask because as the bill moves forward, it's my hope that we maintain the consumer contact information and prohibition on unauthorized sharing of that information, again, focusing on what it's intended for, and so consumers are protected from their information being sold. This seems to be kind of a real major problem we have to address, or otherwise utilized in an unintended manner. So I know that you're doing that, and I would just like to encourage that we keep moving in that direction, and I know you will. Are there any questions from members? Seeing none, motion by Senator Leno to do pass as amended to Senate appropriations. Senator, would you like to close?
No questions, Madam Chair. Respectfully ask for your vote.
All right, very good. Please call the roll.
Jackson?
Aye.
Jackson, I. Morlock. Anderson? Hertzberg? Hertzberg, I. Leno? Leno, I. Monning? Monning, I. Wachowski. Wachowski, aye.
All right, that bill has 5 votes. It's out, and we'll leave it on call. Excuse me. It's got 5 votes. We'll leave it on call. Thank you, Senator Mendoza. All right, we have Senator Leyva here, and this is file item 18.